Welcome back to the show. It's been a while, but it's not like I haven't been busy. Just been busy doing a lot of other stuff. Getting ready to move out of this cramped garage. We found a place to move to, so it's a lot of packing and cleaning and getting rid of crap and stuff like that. So I haven't had time to get into long projects with the truck. But I did want to point out a couple different things, and you could say this is me admitting mistakes. How's that? First, let's talk about leaking brakes. And I talked about leaking brakes for a long time, really. It's mounted like that on the frame. And I could never quite get rid of a leak down here. No matter what I did, I got all the leaks around the top, got that taken care of, that, everything, except I couldn't get rid of a leak down here. I discovered that my front brakes, the mechanical adjustment on the front brakes was way out of adjustment. Don't know whether I just overlook it or I made the adjustment and just didn't get the tightening nuts down tight enough. But regardless, the pedal travel would get so far, the piston would go so far forward that it was actually leaking behind here. Internally, and then coming out here when the piston came back. So once I got that adjusted, by golly, all my leaking problems stopped. Number two, fuel delivery problems. I know I had one bad mechanical fuel pump, which I repaired, and I bought another one. But still, it seemed like it was starving out. And since I've got this glass bowl filter on the carburetor again, just like it was to begin with, I could see the bowl was not filling up. So, and other people had told me, hey, just get rid of the mechanical fuel pumps, put in electric and just be done with it. So I finally decided to do that. I have one temporarily mounted, which I'll show you here in a second. But got that connected, and by golly, I still had fuel flow problems. This was the culprit. It's a ceramic permanent filter, and I don't know that you can even get new ones anymore. Carter, I was able to get a replacement rubber seal, and they sent me a filter that was only half this length, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that or not. Anyway, I took this out. Fuel flow problems stopped. So no more problems with that. So this is where I've mounted the fuel pump frame rail, pretty close to the tank. So in fact, I haven't technically mounted, but what I'm planning to do is put a bolt through here and a spacer, and it should be held in there tight enough. Again, this is temporary, but it should hold up pretty well for a while. So yeah, one of the things that Bob did when he worked on it, probably late 70s, around 80 or so, The intake and exhaust manifold came off of the 46 WF32 because there is no hole here for the PCV valve system. What they had was a road draft tube, the older ones did. He just left this on in that hole there. I stuck this on as a road draft tube, and yeah, I'm kind of spitting a little oil out. Got some blow by. That's kind of expected because I freshened the engine. I didn't do any boring or anything, so that's kind of expected. So I got a new assembly from Vintage Power Wagons that I'm going to replace it with, and basically this will go into here, and I'll have to drill and thread that to go in there. So that should do that. I'm going to take the manifolds off and check and see if I get any more exhaust leaks in there because it's still kind of stinky. So it's older than the truck, so I would not be surprised. That exhaust manifold is not in great shape. So that's the next project. Well, here's my old manifold set, and I have decided, because there's damage to this bolt hole, there was a stuck stud in there, and I drilled it out, and of course it breached. So essentially the exhaust can come right out right here. I patched it before with some stuff. It lasted a little while. I don't think anything is going to fix it other than maybe brazing, and you can't even get in there to braze it. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, I goofed up a little bit. I'm going to put this in for the PCV. However, I did my drilling, and it was too low, unfortunately, and it went into the exhaust and into the intake. So that pretty much screwed me. Then I realized there was a stud here that's part of the exhaust flap here between the two units, and I pulled that out, and that is where this would go, I guess, depending on what vehicle you got. So I did make repairs on this, which I think will work for a little while, but because of the breach over here, I decided to call up Vintage Power Wagons. They're refurbishing a set for me, and I'll have it in a couple weeks. But I figured, what the heck, I'm gonna put this on, try it out. We got snow coming. See if that, see if I can have a little fun. So this is showing the PCV valve installed on my little pipe. I could trim this off, but the new one that I'm gonna get from Vintage Power Wagons won't need that. So anyway, that is installed. Fits perfectly. Let's see, I installed the PCV system. Struggled with the intake and exhaust manifold. The exhaust manifold has a hole in I did plug it once with some hot stove filler, and it kind of worked for a while, but that's not going to last. And it's in a place where you can't weld it, you can't braze it, you can't get in there to do anything with it. So I bit the bullet, and I ordered one from Vintage Power Wagons. It's still going to be a couple more weeks out, so I decided to put my old one back in with the best patches that I could. Seems to work great. PCV works great. Now it's actually sucking the gases from the crankcase, and so that's supposed to do wonders for your oil, by the way. Let's see, anything else regarding that? Like I said, that's still a couple weeks out, so when that comes in, I will pull out this old mess and put in the, it's not brand new, but it's reconditioned by them, so I trust them. While I had all that off, I adjusted the valves again and made it sound sweet and quiet. It's the quietest it's ever been. Tightened head bolts again, retorqued them. At the Southern Rally, I picked up this original style oil bath cleaner because I had that chrome one on there. So I had to do a little repair on the bottom. Somebody banged around on it, but got that on. And the last step will be the little decal here that I put on. So that's about all I've done. Hopefully the next video will be in a nice spacious garage. I've got a garage and a big barn that I can spread out and modernize and stuff, so I can have some fun projects. But next couple months is going to be probably focused mostly on that. Now, the question is, it's about 100 miles away, maybe a little more. Do I drive this 100 miles? And did drive it 50 miles up through downtown Indianapolis. Did not have one bit of a problem. So we'll just see. We'll cross our fingers and we'll see what happens. But anyway, I've fitted some other little video clips in this. But until next time, later.